it's okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself.
Canelo snapped back at Terence Crawford during the press conference, making it clear that Crawford is not on his level. He expressed his dislike for fighters who step into the ring only to survive the full 12 rounds without truly engaging, stressing that this approach creates dull fights that leave fans disappointed. Canelo insisted that boxing should be about competition, action, and entertainment, not just playing it safe. Brook, who has first-hand experience in the ring with top-level opponents like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, issued a serious warning about the upcoming clash. Brook explained that this fight will be unlike anything Crawford has faced before, as Canelo brings a completely different style to the table. He emphasized that while Crawford is shorter and depends heavily on speed, skill, and sharp timing, Canelo offers a rare combination of power, ring intelligence, and tactical adaptability. This, according to Brook, is what makes Canelo such a dangerous opponent and a unique challenge for Crawford.
Two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up. And, I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay. But when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
Do you think Crawford still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great IQ in the ring.
Brook highlighted that Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight and physically impose his will creates a grueling environment for any opponent. He explained that going up against a strong and versatile fighter like Canelo demands a completely different mindset and level of preparation. Brook made it clear that the challenge Crawford is walking into is unlike anything from his past bouts. In his view, Canelo's style and approach give him a clear edge, and the warning to Crawford was straightforward. This is not the same type of opponent he has ever faced before.
I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet. He's cute with how he approaches, chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience. And just his ring generalship, he's got confidence, he's big.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley expressed strong confidence in Canelo Alvarez's chances of defeating Terence Crawford. He acknowledged Crawford as an extraordinary talent with an impressive record but emphasized that Canelo's blend of experience, physical strength, and mental toughness makes him a dangerous opponent. Lampley noted that Canelo's history of facing and beating top-tier fighters across multiple weight divisions gives him a clear advantage. His high ring IQ and ability to control both pace and space allow him to dictate the rhythm of a fight, which Lampley considers a key factor. He further highlighted that Canelo's sharp defense and counterpunching skills could effectively neutralize Crawford's offensive strategy. In the end, Lampley suggested that Canelo's complete, well-rounded style could give him the upper hand despite Crawford's undeniable abilities.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. Before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Daryl Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the...
Terence Crawford's career stands as proof of his immense talent and accomplishments. He has consistently shown elite boxing skills, power, and adaptability, securing his place among the sport's very best. Yet, there's a paradox in how his style is received. Within boxing circles, his technical mastery and tactical brilliance are celebrated, but the broader audience often overlooks these qualities, favoring flashier, more aggressive fighters. Crawford's approach is built on calculated precision, mixing defense, sharp counters, and strategic pressure. While highly effective, this methodical style is sometimes criticized for lacking the non-stop action casual fans crave. As a result, many don't fully recognize or appreciate the depth of skill Crawford brings into the ring.
And he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a Mean Machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switches, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass.
Boxing analyst Bulmac offered a contrasting perspective, acknowledging Canelo's talent but stressing Crawford's superior technical ability. In his view, while Canelo is undoubtedly an elite fighter, Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship give him the upper hand in this matchup. Bulmac pointed to Crawford's motivation and preparation, noting that he always enters the ring with sharp focus and discipline. This mental edge, combined with his polished skill set, allows him to control the pace, dictate exchanges, and outthink his opponents. Though Canelo's power and experience make him a dangerous challenge, Bulmac argued that Crawford's strategic approach and technical mastery could be the deciding factors, if he sticks to his game plan. His analysis highlighted that this fight is more likely to be a tactical chess match than a simple clash of power.
It was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I can tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no-name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
Not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for. But for Crawford, because of his pound-for-pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause, am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So let's go test ourselves.
I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in fight week. But I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager, known for overseeing one of the most lucrative careers in boxing, made bold statements about Canelo's physical edge going into the Crawford fight. He emphasized that Canelo's body is uniquely built to absorb punishment and minimize damage, a quality that distinguishes him from most fighters in the sport.
Didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter. And you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller. But when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably oddsmaker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought Spence.
According to the manager, Canelo's conditioning, muscle structure, and defensive instincts have enabled him to avoid serious damage even against heavy punchers. He described this durability as a key advantage that could play a decisive role against Crawford, who is naturally smaller and less physically imposing. The manager also pointed to Crawford's recent performances, using them to suggest that Crawford may not possess the physical strength necessary to overcome Canelo's sturdy frame and resilience.
Totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely... It was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he is the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think this one is bigger than...
Analysts widely acknowledge Terence Crawford as an exceptional fighter with elite skills and high ring intelligence. Still, the challenge he faces against Canelo is significant, especially as he moves up in weight to take on one of boxing's all-time pound-for-pound greats. Experts believe Crawford will lean heavily on his proven game plan, since making drastic adjustments at this stage of his career, particularly in a higher weight class, could be risky. His style has always centered on precision, counterpunching, and tactical patience, and he is expected to rely on these strengths once again against Canelo. The difficulty lies in executing this approach while adapting to the added weight and facing a physically stronger, battle-tested champion. Analysts suggest that Crawford's ability to stay disciplined, implement his strategy, and avoid overextending himself will be critical to his chances of success.
Terence Crawford gonna beat Canelo Alvarez, we need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there, why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. While both can have a bit of similarities, the speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, Lateral movement, it's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terrence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That will be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely.
Nico Ali Walsh, a rising boxer and commentator, shared his thoughts on the matchup, emphasizing how close the contest could be. He noted that Crawford's recent sparring sessions with heavyweight fighters demonstrate larger opponents, which might help offset Canelo's size advantage. This preparation, according to Walsh, shows that Crawford has specifically trained to deal with the physicality and power of a bigger fighter. As a result, Walsh sees the bout as a true 50-50 fight where either man could win. His perspective highlights the unpredictability and excitement surrounding the clash, with both fighters bringing unique strengths and challenges that make it difficult to confidently pick a clear favorite.
Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But, you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool. And I have so much belief in Bud. And I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything, you know, he wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with his shadow box.
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offered a balanced take on the Canelo vs. Crawford showdown. He acknowledged Canelo's clear advantages in power, size, and physical strength, stressing that these attributes carry major weight in any matchup. At the same time, he highlighted Crawford's technical skills, ring IQ, speed, and passion as equally dangerous tools. Atlas described the bout as a classic clash of styles, Canelo's physicality against Crawford's technical brilliance. He noted that both fighters possess qualities that could swing the fight in outcome will ultimately depend on which fighter executes his game plan better on the night, framing the bout as a true 50-50 battle with strong cases for either man emerging victorious.
He won the fight. He's Terrence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." You know, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher. You know, a unified champion that he's been. You know, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, you know, who's going to be able, sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.